Hello gays and theys, and welcome back to my channel. It is officially February, which you know what that means. Valentine's Day is coming up. Yay! I don't think I've actually ever celebrated Valentine's Day. I don't think I ever had the need to, and it's not just because I was single most of my teen years. I did date. That was before I found out I was queer and I was dating cis men, and I did not want to date them the whole time, and I was pressured to. But the reason I never dated in my teenager years was because my brothers, the twins, they were born when I was 12 going on 13. So ever since then, Valentine's Day has never been important to me. It's always been about my brother's birthdays. But that being said, they are now in a different country. We do not live together anymore. So Valentine's Day does feel a little different for me now because I can't celebrate with them for their birthdays, and everyone around me is either dating, engaged, or married and spending Valentine's Day with their significant other. Well, I'm just here reading romance books, which is completely okay. And that's what I wanted to get into for today's video. Has reading romance books ruined romance for me? Has it set the bar too high? And the answer to that is maybe, possibly. The other thing is, I don't really care for romantic relationships. No, I am not aro ace. I may be on the ace spectrum, but guys, I do have love to give and I could do it. It's just a lot. It's just how do I go about this? The thing is, I don't develop crushes instantly as other people do. It takes me a lot. It takes me a while to develop feelings for somebody, and then when I do I act on them? No. Which then again, that hasn't happened in a long while because I don't socialize much. I am too busy. So this Valentine's Day, what am I gonna do? Call my brother, say happy birthday. Other than that, just watch everybody's Instagram and TikTok posts of the dates that they're taking their partners on, which is totally fine. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I feel like a lot of people get really jealous during Valentine's Day, seeing everybody buy gifts for each other and this and this, blah blah blah. I mean, that being said, back in high school, my friends and I would get each other gifts, especially when we weren't dating other people. But even then, we would still get each other gifts because I was gonna say bros before hoes, but that really is such a high school back in the day saying. But you know what? I'm just gonna treat it like any other day. I think I will read romance books. I think Valentine's Day is on a Saturday, so I'll actually have spare time to catch up on reading. And with that, I do want to say I'm currently reading Heated Rivalry. I wanted to see what the hype is about, so I decided to order all 6 books in the series. I believe Game Changer. Yes, Game Changer was the first in the series, so I don't know why this one got a show made of first. Maybe it was the most popular in the series since it is a standalone. But after reading Game Changer, I really wish that was made into the show first before this one. I won't go into too much detail about it. I'll make a whole separate video about that once I read all the other books. But I did want to mention that since that is my current romance read. Other than that, most of the romance books that I read are straight hetero couples, cis couples. So this is new. I have read queer books, but or queer romances, but this has a lot of smut in it. And again, I'll go into a deeper review of the books when I make a whole separate video for that. But obviously this isn't relatable to me because they're cis men. And I am not a cis man. I may be a trans guy, but I don't got what they got going on, if you catch my drift. So I think for Valentine's Day, I will be switching it up. I will read something else. Will it be a reread? Maybe. Let me take a look at my books. Let me just decide now so that I don't put it off. Hold, please. I've decided. I did say I've been wanting to reread this. I think it's been maybe 3-ish years, but Tears in the Water, this book, this one, did it for me. I remember crying. The reason is the main character is finding themselves as a trans person, as a queer person. I think also asexuality is a huge thing in this book, so I was just relating to it a lot. So you know what, this will be my read for Valentine's Day if we're gonna get into the whole romance aspect. Also, this doesn't focus too much on the romance and more about the person, the main character, discovering themselves, but it still has some romance to it, so it's gonna count as a Valentine's Day book. Before I get any further in this video, since I feel like my thoughts are everywhere, because yes, I am on the clock right now, I should be working, but a client canceled today so I had some spare time to start this while nobody is home and the house is quiet. But if you guys have any queer romance recommendations, please let me know. Either drop them in my comments, DM me on Instagram or TikTok, and let me know what I should read, because I need more variety. I'm kind of getting tired of these straight cis couples. I'm not getting tired over the stories because I love the drama, but I am getting tired of not seeing enough representation, and I know there's more books out there that show representation, I just don't know them, and I haven't had the time to look for any, so please give me recommendations. Thank you. Moving on. Okay, it is obviously hours later. I ended up getting a call from my supervisor seeking coverage for one of her cases. So I did that since I had a cancellation. I was like, might as well get the hours in. Anyways, I'm on my way to Tierra Mia to get some hot chocolate and hopefully a churro muffin, because usually they're all out. But I did want to get back into the topic of this video of, did reading romance books ruin real life romance for me? And the answer is, again, possibly. I feel like, at least personally, it might have, but at the same time, there were so many other factors of why romance could have been ruined for me. For example, my environment. I was not raised in a loving environment. I did not know what a healthy relationship looked like. I didn't know how people are supposed to communicate with each other, communicate their feelings, communicate boundaries. That was a whole thing. On top of that, having a traumatic childhood, you develop maladaptive daydreaming, right? The disorder, or just in general, you just be daydreaming all the time. With that being said, I feel like I love reading romance books because it makes me feel a little delulu. Also, sorry if it sounds like I'm yelling. I just really hope that you guys could hear me over like the rumbling of me driving over the streets. I don't want to like stop right next to this car and they could see me recording. I'm still trying to get used to recording in public, or at least speaking to the camera in public. But anyways, let me turn on the air. This is California, it's still hot out here. But anyways, as I was saying, I think like reading romance books helps me get into that Delulu mindset, which I love, but at the same time, it's okay to be delusional, but to a limit. Like, you have to also be realistic. But I like being delulu in my head. It's like, oh yeah, these characters in these books, like, this is great, this is like what romance should be about, blah blah blah. And like, you know what, maybe it's true, but it's just in real life, things aren't gonna work out the way you want it to work out. And also, let me point out, I feel like the most popular romance books are those billionaire main character, not main character, but like usually it's the male main character. They're usually fucking billionaires. And then I feel like all of us at this point, at least everybody in the US, likes being the Lulu in the sense of, hopefully I'll run into a billionaire man or woman or a person and be like, yeah, I'm set for life, because you know what, we're all broke here, we're all in this together. Even I told my friends, do I like cis men? No. If I meet a billionaire cis man and he for some reason likes me, suddenly I like cis men. I'm just kidding, guys. No, please, if you're gonna date someone, please do it because you actually like them. But yeah, it's just everything in books. There's a point where it does get kind of realistic, but there's mostly the points of like, it would never happen to you kind of thing. And if it does, good for you. Congratulations. You are now YN and you've made something for yourself in your own world. But no, I feel like it's just really hard to relate to these characters. You know, okay, I'm trying to like explain this right, because I say it's hard to relate to these characters, but at the same time, there's so many relatable characters, or at least like a bunch of them that have relatable traits or even stories or trauma, for example. So I think it's just more of the fact that in a book, everything works out. And you do see it, at least from the books I read, from both point of views of the people in the relationship, that they do put the effort to make the relationship work. Or it may be like a second chance romance, and not saying that it's with the same character like the main characters, but second chance romance, like say the main character breaks up with this one person but gets a second chance at love, not with that same person but with someone else, and you know, the whole moving on aspect of it. But it's just, I just don't think that's, I feel like just reading it makes it sound easier than it is, and I'm really hoping a car's not coming right now. Whoa, that was such a good U-turn. let me settle with my thoughts after I get my hot chocolate, because today has been a day, and I feel with my ADHD right now, my mind is all over the place, and I have had a migraine all day, so I feel like my thoughts are just rambling and all jumbled. And this car's next to me, and they're gonna see I'm recording, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Starts speeding away. Okay, anyways, please hold until I get my hot chocolate, okay? I feel like if Nana is watching this video, they're gonna be like, why the fuck are you still going to that Tierra Mia? But the Tierra Mia in Pico Rivera, okay, is everybody's like worst nightmare, because the window is to the right to where your passenger door is, and it's very hard to be reaching over your money and getting your drinks and stuff. But it's the first Tierra Mia location I've been to, and I love a good routine, so I'm gonna keep coming here.
Tierra Mia, what can we get better for you today?
Hi, can I get a medium Mexican hot chocolate?
The medium chocolate mexicano, anything else here?
Yeah, do you guys have the churro muffins available right now?
The churro muffins? Yes, we do.
Okay, I'll get one of those, and then that'll be everything.
Okay. A medium chocolate mexicano, the churro muffin. I'll have it put over here to the window.
Perfect, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that wasn't awkward at all. I feel like my anxiety has gotten better compared to when I was younger, and especially in high school. Who's texting me? Oh my gosh, it's Nana! They heard me talking about them. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay, the other thing about the Pico Rivera drive-thru, guys, everybody thinks that they're gonna hit their bumper when making this turn, and they start backing up and turning all the way. I will say, my first time here, I thought I was gonna hit the curve, but then I didn't. Now my friends are like, nope, you're gonna make it. And so now when I go around here, I don't get scared. But now, since I've seen that car backing up, I feel like I'm gonna get scared, and I'm also gonna start backing up. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I'll see y'all once I get my hot chocolate, because I'm not gonna be recording when they give it to me, and I'm actually gonna take the camera down because I'm scared. Okay, we are parked and in awkward lighting. I feel scared. I'm just in a parking lot. Anyways, I got my churro muffin. Oh, they warmed it up without me even telling them to. But you can't even fucking see it. Hold on. I got you guys. I got you guys. Look at look at my muffin. It's so good. I can't wait to eat it. It's actually been a while since I had one, I think. I don't know. But yeah, Tierra Mia Bakery, because we don't support Starbucks here. Okay? Nana! And obviously, I got my Mexican hot chocolate. Casi dije café, what the fuck? Mi chocolate mexicana. Okay, I feel like they used abuelita hot chocolate. It tastes like it, so I'm assuming so. still hot, but it's so good. I feel like it's a perfect temperature right now, actually. Anyways, going back into what this video was about, I forgot I made little notes so that I don't get all over the place. But since we were kind of already leaning into it, reading as a coping mechanism due to trauma. I have a lot of trauma, as we all do, right? Not to get off topic, but I usually tell people, like, don't say that what your trauma is or what you're going through isn't as bad as someone else, because there's always going to be someone who has it worse. But you know, everyone's valid to each in their own feelings, but to me, I'm like, no, somebody has it worse than me. Why am I complaining? But I'll make other people feel better about it, but myself, no. Anyways, that being said, I feel like I don't think it would be impossible for me to find love, but reading does set such a high expectation, because again, in the books, everything gets resolved, because it's a fucking book. It's not real. People communicate. There's boundaries. There's, you know, all of these other things that I can't currently think about. And it's just like, in real life, I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm starting to slowly learn how to let more people in, or trust more, or just let people get closer to me. And I've actually had this conversation with my friends recently that I feel like I just value platonic relationships or friendships more than pursuing a romantic one, at least as of right now. I always say if it happens, it happens, but at my current point in time right now, I don't see the importance of dating someone. And I get it, because I'm 26. I have friends getting married, starting, like, you know, getting with another person, or having babies, all of these things, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you're 26 and you're working full-time and you still live with your parents, which honestly, everybody at this point, okay, this economy is shit. But it's just the whole thing of, I think I'd rather be in that mindset that I'm like, reading it is cute, but right now in real life, I don't need it. If it happens, okay, but I just like putting myself in that mindset, the Lulu mindset of reading it like, oh, this is really nice, or like if you're inserting yourself in the book or reading the book in their perspectives. Like, actually, I've heard like different people saying different things, that they put themselves as the character, like the main character in the book, or they really do read it from their point of views of the characters. Does that make sense? Am I talking crazy right now? But it's the fact that, like, in the books, obviously, like, when you're reading it and they're reading it like in first person, so it kind of, I feel like at least in your mind, you like resonate more, and you're like, why is this person hurting me? Or like, I don't know, I feel like you get more emotional, or like emotionally attached to the characters. My speech impediment's gonna be acting up, watch. So it's just like, I don't know, since everything works out in books, I feel, and getting emotionally attached to the characters, at least me, I feel good, because I'm like, oh, is that what it's like to have somebody who cares about you, or to actually take care of you? Because I don't know that. As an eldest sibling or child, whatever, technically I'm not, but I consider myself the eldest. My older sister already has her own family and everything, and she's been like moved out and everything since my brothers came into the picture, and since my little sister came into the picture. So I've taken on that role as the oldest sibling, and it really is just hard, because you literally do everything. You raise your siblings, you do everything around the house, you take care of everybody, like you're the therapist of the family. It's just never ending chore after chore after chore. Like, your physical and mental, emotional well-being is always stressed. It's overwhelmed. So reading it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be great if someone took care of me instead. But is it gonna happen? No. And going into that too is coming into the terms that I'm queer and I'm trans masc. I'm like, oh shit, like, I gotta be the man in the relationship, which actually, it's like, no, you don't have to be the man in the relationship. You equality. I don't know how to explain it, but no, because obviously I still have my feminine features or mannerisms, shit like that. Like, I would still like to be taken care of, but I feel like in general, even before coming out, I've just always had the mentality like, I'm gonna take care of someone. I'm gonna do whatever they need me to do. I'm gonna try to make their life easier. And I think it's just because I've always had that mentality growing up, especially like having grown up in a, fight or flight response your whole life. It's just like, okay, you just don't know how to let that go and let other people take care of you. It's like, yeah, I want it, but I don't know how to let it happen. Does that make sense? Or it's just like, I feel like it's an oldest sibling, oldest child kind of situation. Going more into it though, in this economy, a relationship is crazy. And that's another conversation I was just having with my friends, is that I already spoil my friends in general. Could you imagine, I tell this to them all the time, could you imagine if I got into a relationship and I really, really like that person? If I'm already spoiling my friends like they're my significant other, imagine when I do get a significant other. I'm for real gonna be spending so much bands on bands on bands, bro. Gift giving is my love language. Let me just say that. Let me leave it there. It's gotten better. I've gotten better at not spending too much on my friends, but it's obviously still there. And it's a problem, especially when I'm trying to save up to move out. And yeah, that's a whole thing that's like, that's on me. I should have better self-control, but it's just like, shit, bro, I like spoiling people, okay? And I feel like just going on dates, which that's my other thing too. It's like everybody wants to go to these nice fancy restaurants. First of all, I'm autistic, I'm on the spectrum. I don't like fancy places. I'm just really picky with things, which I know is such a like red flag for people or whatever, or what's it called, what's the term? What do they say? I don't know. I'm blanking out. Not breaking point. I'm at my breaking point though. What is it? I can't think of it, but I feel like I'm gonna think of it and then I'm gonna put it in this video, and if I don't put it like in a caption or something, then I've never thought of it and my brain's just going crazy. But you know, it's just like everybody has to go like everywhere and do everything, and it's like, I like spending quality time. That's my other love language, quality time. But at the same time, I do like going out and doing some things and like spending like here and there, but not anything elaborate, if that makes sense. But at the same time, again, I feel bad if I'm not spending a certain amount of money on somebody. And it's not the fact that's like I have to spend money, it's just like somebody says they like something, I'm like, now I have to get it for them because they deserve it. They deserve it so freaking much. When will I get that same treatment? I don't know. Probably one day. I feel like I never get the energy back that I give. But that's okay. It's fine. We live and we learn, and we find people that match your energy, right? This is so good. Like, in conclusion, do I get upset that much around Valentine's Day when I see people spending with their significant others? Not really. If anything, I'm like, bro, hurry the fuck up so we can all hang out again with my friends who are dating someone. And it's just, I feel like these past few years, personally for me, it's been somewhat difficult. And it's going back again to, it's my brother's birthdays, and I don't get to see them. The last time I got to surprise them for their birthday was over 3 years ago. I think this year is going to be the 3rd year or the 4th year. I think it's gonna be the 3rd year. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, it's, and then also, okay, me going like really deep into it and trying not to get emotional. So he's no longer my stepfather, but you know, my stepdad, my brother's dad. When him and my mom were together, which it was just very recent that they're no longer together, he was always my father figure. He stepped up and he was my father. And so when Valentine's Day came around, obviously he's married to my mom, so he's gonna be giving her a Valentine's Day gift. So she gets something, and then it's the twins' birthday, so then they would get something. So the whole day would be about the twins and my mom. And don't cry, bitch. So for me not to get left out, ever since the twins were born, and mind you, they're turning 13 this year, he would always think of me too and get me something. And especially like back then in high school, because I was a big reader and getting into like Percy Jackson and all that stuff, he would take me to the store and he'd be like, okay, like which books do you want? He would buy me a couple of books, he would buy me whatever ice cream I wanted, he would come home with like the chocolate and like balloons for me, like flowers for me and everything, so that I wouldn't get left out. And he would specifically tell me like, just because a day is about them doesn't mean that I'm gonna let you spend it alone, kind of thing. So I feel like in the back of my mind, I'm like, again, I always treat it as my brother's birthday, but also in the fact that I'll be included in something. So it is it is kind of different coming this time around, especially since he is no longer in the picture and I no longer have a father. So it's fine. I mean, I live with my actual dad, my biological dad, except we're not close. Me and my stepdad really were like, he was my dad. So if I had a nickel for every time this has happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny it happened twice. I can't remember if it's nickels or dimes with that one Phineas and Ferb audio. But yeah, moral of the story, or like in conclusion of this whole fucking video, I would say to a degree that romance books have set my expectations a little too high in the dating world. But not completely. I feel like I would just have to make time for someone because I'm completely booked. I work full-time. I also work for my tia on the side, and then obviously content creation. And I try to schedule my friends in whenever I can over the weekends, which I also need to give myself breaks. I'm trying so hard not to book myself up and let myself breathe. But I don't know how to relax. Again, eldest sibling, eldest child syndrome. I don't know. We don't know how to relax. We don't know how to take a break. We don't know how to take care of ourselves. Okay? I need to learn how to practice self-care because I think that's like my biggest struggle at the moment, which you guys should join me along on these videos, and maybe I'll finally find a new hobby or a new way to actually calm down, take care of myself, relax, not think about work, not think about do I have to do anything for anybody, not think about what could I do for this person without them asking me to. Do you see where I'm at? I'm just like, I try to stay one step ahead of people and just make sure everyone's okay. But am I okay? I'm just kidding. But no, that's gonna be the end of this video. I just wanted to get that out there because I feel like a lot of people are also conflicted about, has romance reading set the bar too high? And you know what? If anything, we should have high expectations. Don't settle for the bare minimum, okay? But yeah, anyways, thank you so much if you guys made it this far. This is the end of the video. Take care of yourselves and like, comment, subscribe, and be here for the next video. Okay, bye.